The Doomed Hill. Soon, Sir Topham Hatt wanted to make a test. He wanted to see how steep hills could get before an engine struggled and couldn't get up it. And so, the hill was built. And one day, he had to assign an engine to pull it. So, he assigned Henry to do it. "Oh, would you look at that," said Henry the next morning. "I've got the important hill run." "Oh, don't get so worked up on yourself," said Gordon. "Who knows? The hill might be your downfall." "Oh, that's a bunch of baloney," said Henry. "You wait and see. You'll see me in action." And with that, he puffed away confidently. Soon, at Knapford, Thomas was shunting Henry's express train. It was 10 coaches, and it was important. "Henry," Thomas said nervously, "are you sure you're going to be able to get up and down that hill? I mean, just look at how steep it is." "Ugh, I don't want to imagine the down part." "Thomas, don't be so chicken. You're not the one who has to get up it. It's me, so what do you have to worry about?" Henry could see the hill in distance. He felt a little nervous, but he wouldn't let nervousness overcome him. And so he called up to his coaches and waited for the guard to blow his whistle. The guard blew his whistle, and Henry set off. Henry went along a long straight track and began to go up the hill. He spoke to the passengers, acting like a tour guide. "And if you look out your window behind you," he said, "you'll see that we're approaching the long hill that's Dr. Topham had it built. And if you look down, well, don't look down." Henry looked down, and he could see that the tracks were seemingly floating up in the air, being held up by nothing. And he could also see the edge of the void, or the blue void below. Henry looked confused, but quickly brushed it off as he began to reach the top. At last, Henry reached the top and began to go up. The track seemed to be a roundabout way of things, and he began to go up another hill, and like the one he went up earlier, it seemed to be floating and held up by nothing. "If you look out your windows now, you'll see the amazing view of the island that we have up here," said Henry, amazed. The passengers looked out their window, and indeed they were amazed, shocked by how a something like this could be on Sodor, but they also felt the pang of nervousness. They looked at the angle of the hill, and thought that things seemed normal. They thought that it couldn't be too steep, but they were wrong. Oh, so wrong. Henry went down the floating track, and was now turned around. And now, the driver pulled the lever, trying to slow Henry down. But there was a problem. Henry was still going the same speed that he was, and not stopping or slowing down at all. He tried to pull the emergency brake to test things, but it didn't work. He spoke to the fireman. "Are you sure the controls are all fine and dandy?" "They should be. Why are they not working?" he said, confused. "Hey, what's going on over there?" said Henry. Henry, you may want to start regretting what you said." "What do you mean?" "The controls aren't working, and you're still going the same speed that you are." Oh no. Henry started to regret being overly confident as he started to reach the incline. The more Henry went down the hill, the more things started to go wrong. The driver again tried to pull the emergency brake, but it didn't work. Henry's brakes almost caught fire. Henry's speed went up, and it eventually reached 200 miles per hour. And it only gained more speed as it went. Look out! Runaway train! Shouted Henry as he started to speed towards the station. His speed now up to 400 miles per hour. The Sandman saw Henry speeding through, and tried to set the points, but Henry was going so fast that he didn't have time to set them. Henry saw other engines in the yard, and he raced through impact, as he knew that there was no way that he was going to stay on the rails. And at last, Henry crashed straight into the station, most of the coaches derailing, and Henry tumbling onto his side. It wasn't a great sight to behold, that's for sure. The engines looked in horror of what just happened. James saw the accident and was so shocked that he almost derailed his coaches in fright. Edward had now been basically imprisoned by the coaches. Coaches behind him and coaches in front of him. Thomas also looked in sheer horror. He knew that Henry would survive the hill. Other engines saw what happened in the yard, and felt guilty, and horrified at the same time. No accident like this has ever happened on the railway. And soon, things are only starting to get worse from there. Hello? Is this Travel Hat? Yes, it is. Well, due to the damages of the railway, and due to the customer injuries, your railway will be forced to be closed down for a while until this hill gets demolished and then the thing is replaced. So Travel Hat accepted his fate, and the hill soon was put to rest. Afterwards, Henry woke up with a start. "What's the matter?" asked Edward. "Hills. Speed. Railway. Shut down," Henry said, shook about what happened. Edward was confused, but then remembered Gordon's Hill and some things that had happened on it. He then sort of knew what Henry was talking about. Throughout the day, Henry refused to leave the shed, now terrified to go up Gordon's Hill. He also refused to talk about what happened, and afterwards, he wouldn't forget about what happened. But that is just a story.